Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Minnesota.
The Twins and Mariners game 3 of the 4-game series tonight at Target Field, and the Twins hope to win a game here and another one tomorrow to split the 4-game series. And welcome to Target Field. I'm Dick Bramer. When the Twins moved here in 1961, in the 5th year of their tenure at Metropolitan Stadium, they hosted an All-Star game. Then they moved indoors in 1982, and in the 4th year indoors, they hosted another All-Star game in 1985. The announcement finally came today. There'll be a pregame ceremony here in just a minute or two that the Twins will host the 2014 All-Star game in the 5th year at Target Field. And the announcement came this afternoon down the right field line.
But I am honored to award the 2014 All-Star game to the Minnesota Twins playing in their spectacular home, and to the Twin Cities area and the great state of Minnesota. It is really a pleasure. This Midsummer Classic will be a celebration of Carl's legacy. It's become one of our game's model franchises. And as I just looked, I said to Paul Molitor, this Target Field is just spectacular, and every time I'm here, I just can't tell you how impressive this is. So this will be a great showplace for the 2014 All-Star Game.
With that official announcement this afternoon, we learned that in July of 2014, Target Field will host the Twin Cities' 3rd Midsummer Classic. To help us commemorate this historic day at Target Field, we have invited back some great All-Stars in Twins history and men who have connections to the first 2 All-Star games played in Twins territory. The All-Star game first came to Minnesota in the magical summer of 1965. 6 Twins players made an appearance that July afternoon at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington. Killebrew, Batty, Grant, Hall, Versailles, and at the time the reigning American League batting champ, and he would go on to win his 2nd title in helping the Twins win the 65 pennant. It was the 2nd of 8 straight All-Star appearances. Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Oliva. In 1985, the All-Star game moved inside under the Teflon roof at the Metrodome. Tom Bernansky was the lone Twins representative, but on the American League roster that day was 3 of St. Paul's favorite sons, Dave Winfield, Jack Morris, and Paul Molitor. Also playing for the AL was a former and future Twin and the latest pitcher inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. From the 1985 All-Star roster, please welcome Paul Molitor and Bert Blyleven. This past July, Joe Mauer collected a hit in his 5th All-Star appearance, and teammate Justin Morneau has been named to 4 All-Star teams and played in 3 games, including his memorable 15th inning run in 2008 at the old Yankee Stadium that gave the American League a thrilling win. Representing the Twins' current roster, please welcome All-Stars Joe Mauer and Justin Morneau. When it comes to playing in the All-Star game, few know it better than this legend. 18 times he represented the American League, 12 times wearing a Twins uniform. Only 4 men in baseball history have played in more All-Star games. Please welcome Rod Carew. Ladies and gentlemen, Hall of Famer Paul Molitor.
Thank you. On behalf of these gentlemen behind me, we want to share with you today the greatness of Major League Baseball awarding the 2014 All-Star Game to the Minnesota Twins. In just 22 and a half months, we'll have an opportunity to showcase our ballpark, our team, the Twin Cities, and the great state of Minnesota. And I have every confidence that everyone will leave the All-Star Game in 2014 knowing the Twins and the state of Minnesota will make it one of the most memorable All-Star Games ever. Thank you very much.
Congratulations to all those with the city of Minneapolis, the Minnesota Ballpark Authority, and the Twins for bringing the All-Star Game back to the Twin Cities in 2014.
Pretty good lineup out there. 3 Hall of Famers and a lot of All-Star appearances, and we're excited to play baseball tonight. Looking forward to 2014. Game 3 between the Mariners and the Twins coming up. North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And Rod Carew, memorialized by a statue outside Target Field, will be our guest during our broadcast of Game 3 between the Twins and the Mariners. 3 between the Twins and the Mariners, getting ready for the return to broadcasting of one Rick Albert Blyleven. Good to have you back.
Good to be back, Dick. Thank you very much.
We're happy that Hurricane Isaac has skipped the Fort Myers area, but of course we're concerned about the folks in the New Orleans area.
Yeah, we sure are. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody in that area.
Eric Wedge's Mariners have gotten it together here over the middle months of the season, now rolling into the month of September. The Menards batting order for Game 3. Dustin Ackley hit the big 3-run home run last night. Trayvon Robinson, Kyle Seager, John Jaso, Justin Smoke, Eric Thames, Miguel Olivo, Sean Figgins, and Munenori Kawasaki.
And about 10 days ago, Samuel DeDuno faced the Seattle Mariners in Seattle. He pitched 6 very good innings, gave up only a couple runs on 5 hits, but the thing that has been bothering him the most, or giving him the most problem, is his control. 6 walks in that ball game, and so far on the year, 51 innings pitched in his first 9 starts, 37 walks. So hopefully he can be a little more around the plate here tonight.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. New outfielder Josh Willingham and left Ben Revere, nothing new there, but Chris Parmelee called up today, and he will make the start in right field. Trevor Plouffe, Pedro Florimon, Jamie Carroll, Justin Morneau, and Ryan Doumit behind the plate. Parmelee last played in right field when he was with the big league club. When he went down to Rochester and hit very well, he was a first baseman and an occasional designated hitter. But the opening is in the outfield with Denard Span unable to play.
Yeah, Span's still bothered. He had an MRI on that right collar area, and that's still giving him problems. It's kind of day-to-day for Denard Span. Had a chance to talk to him this afternoon, and he said, he's going to try to play through it. It said, if to heal it, it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks, and by that time the season's over. So he's going to try to play through it, and up until then, it opens the door for opportunities like Chris Parmelee to play right field.
Here's Ackley taking strike 1. So we've been waiting for that game when DeDuno wasn't issuing 1 walk per inning, and we finally had that game against the Rangers, and that was also the game where the Rangers got more than 2 hits an inning. So, you try to balance. He was effective when he was walking a lot of people. He wasn't so effective when he wasn't walking people. Down and in.
Well, that's a breaking ball right there, kind of like a slurve-type hard slider. DeDuno getting ahead in the count, and that's a key for him tonight, too. Get ahead in the count and then mix in that breaking ball. In the 51 innings, he does have 30 strikeouts. Rick Anderson, the pitching coach, with the clicker, keeping an eye on DeDuno.
And that one spun out of his hands, 2-2.
See, and that's what he's been able to do, is that one right there looked like it spun out of his hand, like you mentioned. Then he'll come back with the same one, and a lot of times throw a nasty one.
2-2. 3-2.
It's the quick pitch count that has DeDuno. That's the biggest problem, because when you do walk a lot of guys, it means you have to throw at least 4 pitches, maybe more, and that pitch count gets up to 100 very quickly.
Head high hop to Florimon, over to Morneau, 1 away.
Well, good pitch right there, even though he missed the zone a little bit. That's what Ron Coomer was talking about in the pregame. You can be effectively wild to where a hitter just can't say, okay, I'm facing a catfish hunter or someone like that has pinpoint control. The next one he could throw up and in on him and maybe knock this hitter down.
So Ackley retired on a 3-2 pitch. Here's Trayvon Robinson. Off the plate, ball 1.
Robertson, 24 years old, in his second season with the Mariners. Not getting a lot of playing time in the outfield.
In right field, a base hit. Robinson with a single with 1 out.
Well, you fall behind in the count, you have to try to make the count 1-1, and DeDuno going with the fastball. And Robertson, even though that ball's away, pulls that ball into right field for the first hit of the ball game. Robertson, a switch hitter, hitting .250 as a left-handed hitter, .241 as a right-hander.
Here's Kyle Seager. When he faced DeDuno 2 starts ago, he got a single and 2 walks. So DeDuno will try to retire him for the first time. 51 innings pitched for DeDuno and already 10 ground ball double plays. And Robinson, a threat to steal with a healthy lead at first, is chased back to the bag.
Yeah, Mariners like to run. 87 stolen bases. They've been caught only 29 times. Robinson with 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts.
Another throw to first.
DeDuno, 29 years old, from the Dominican Republic, originally signed by the Rockies back in 2003. Came up with the Rockies a little bit in 2010 and then the Padres in 2011. Right now getting an opportunity to start here for the Twins.
And he delivers strike one. Fellow starter Liam Hendriks is still looking for his first major league win for DeDuno this year. The wins came early and often. A couple of no decisions and 3 straight wins. A no decision, a win. Now back-to-back losses. There goes Robinson. And Domet can't find it. And Robinson gets a stolen base.
Robinson stealing his 6th base of the year. And with that high leg kick, even though if Domet catches this ball, he might have had a tough time because Robinson got a great jump. That ball just getting away from Domet. See the sink on that ball right there, and Domet tried to smother it.
They're doing a little bit of everything. They've hit a home run in 11 straight games, and now they've been successful on 11 straight stolen base attempts. Seager takes one down and in. 2-1.
Yeah, since the All-Star break, the Mariners are 27-16, playing very, very good baseball.
To center, Revere back, still going back, making a nice running catch on the warning track. Tagging from second, going to third is Robinson, and he'll be held there. So a deep fly to center for out number 2.
Yeah, Seager gave that ball a ride right there. Let's take a look at our GMC keys to the game here tonight for the Twins. Hopefully to put a 0 on the board to get the offense going. That's the big thing, and so they can score first. We have seen success for the Twins here at home, especially if they can score first. Put a 0 on the board.
Here's John Jaso. Jaso, the designated hitter and part-time catcher for the Mariners. Inside, ball 1. One thing DeDuno's done well, he's thrown 51 innings. He's given up 5 home runs, but 3 of those to the Texas Rangers in Texas. So for the most part, he's done a nice job keeping the ball in the ballpark. There's a strike.
I would think as a hitter, it would be hard to square up with DeDuno only because he has so much movement. That the hard breaking ball. We saw the sinker that got away from Domet to allow Robinson to steal second. So, yeah, a lot of movement out of that right arm of DeDuno when he throws that ball toward home.
Swing and a miss, 1-2.
That looked like the changeup right there. So the fastball at 91, that changeup right there at 84.
Got him. And Domet has to make a throw to end the inning.
And there's a 0.
A hit, no damage done, with a runner left at third. Ron Gardenhire hoping that his team can get some traction going, get some production out of the lineup. Here's the Menards batting order tonight. Ben Revere followed by Jamie Carroll, Joe Mauer, the designated hitter, Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, Ryan Domet, Chris Parmelee, Trevor Plouffe, and Pedro Florimon.
And for the third time this year that the Twins will face Jason Vargas. Vargas making his 28th start of the year, his third against the Twins. This guy has been red hot, as the whole staff really for the Mariners has been. But Vargas over his last 8 starts, 5-1 with an ERA at 3.
And so the Twins will send Revere, Carroll, and Mauer against Vargas. Carroll moving up to the second spot in the batting order because he's had pretty good success against Vargas.
Well, Vargas, a guy that doesn't have an overpowering fastball, but very good control of that fastball. He'll throw a little cutter, and that's really helped him develop as a pitcher, especially the outer half of the plate, just like that pitch right there. Get strike one. And then he'll mix in a curveball and a changeup.
And again, on the outside corner, 0-2. We see Vargas do from the left side what we see Felix Hernandez do from the right side. A big turn, hip turn, and the hitter's looking at the back of his jersey.
Well, just gets you to that balance point. Allows that arm to catch up to your body. Yeah, Felix Hernandez, King Felix, did a great job the other night here. But take a look at its turn right there. You see his name, you see his number. But all that does is allows you to get to that balance point a little easier.
Revere pulls a weak ground ball to Ackley, one away. Northland Ford defense for the Mariners. They've got some speed out in the outfield, don't they? With Robinson, Figgins, and Thames out there tonight. Seager, Kawasaki, Ackley, and Smoke the infielders, and Miguel Olivo on the mound.
You know, Dick, you see a pitcher like Vargas turn his back like that. You always think of Louis Tiant.
Sure.
Tiant Louis was one of the best at that.
Here's Carroll. 6 for 14 against Vargas. We got guys like Willingham, 0 for 16. Domet 1 for 6. There really hasn't been a lot of production against Vargas. Nice backhanded pickup by Seager and a strong throw across the diamond.
Yeah, one thing Seattle has really done a good job of, and that's their defense. A lot of young players getting an opportunity to play for Eric Wedge, and Seager makes a very nice backhanded play right there. Sets. And a good throw over to Smoke at first base. The Mariners have made only 50 errors on the year. That's the fewest in the American League.
And it goes hand in hand, doesn't it? Good fielding and good pitching.
Yep.
One of the reasons they're pitching so well, they're catching the ball and throwing it properly in the field.
Well, one thing that I think creates good fielding, we've talked about it from time to time, Dick, when that pitcher has good tempo out there. You know, don't hang around that pitching rubber too long. Get the ball, look for the sign, and throw. So your defense, they're not on their heels because you go 3-1, you know, fall behind an account, get the ball, look for the sign, be ready to pitch.
1-1 to Mauer. 2-1. In defeat the other night, Liam Hendriks gave up 1 run, but Ron Gardenhire talked about his tempo and how quickly he was working out there.
You see where Robertson is playing. He's really shading Joe Mauer down that left field line. And Joe's first at bat last night, he hit a ball into that corner.
This to left field. And Robinson makes the catch in left field. A 1-2-3 first inning. We'll have the commissioner of baseball come to our booth in the second inning. To the second inning, we're very happy to have the Commissioner of Baseball, Bud Selig, with us to talk about the big announcement today. It had been reported, in fact, in advance of the press conference, but a pretty big day for the Twin Cities.
Well, yeah, it's a huge day, and I'm really
one down.
This has been in the works for a long time, but this is one of those that really made me happy. I wanted the All-Star game here in 14. Somebody asked me today, when did you really decide? And honesty tells me to tell you over a year ago, but I didn't want to say anything. I think Bert asked me, as a matter of fact. Now that
is it your decision, or do you have a committee that kind of looks at everything?
I can't blame anybody else. This is my decision.
Well, it's a good decision.
Well, thank you. It's going to be tremendous. And, you know, once we're here for it, it's 5 or 6 days of celebration, and it's gotten big. You know, you had it here in 65 and 85, I believe. But this is remarkable. I mean, this is really a celebration, fan fest. People come from all over the Middle West.
You know, can you talk a little bit about, because it's an honor to have an All-Star game, and I know, you know, people in Minnesota hopefully are very excited about it, but as DeDuno gets his second strikeout, it's also all the hotels, everybody around is going to benefit from the All-Star game.
Yeah, you know, the fan fest alone will draw 250,000 people. You will find that hotels, restaurants will be jammed for 4, 5, 6 days. Somebody asked me today about what economic gain, and every city does one, but I'm very comfortable telling you that somewhere between $75 and $100 million just for that 5 days. And
that's unbelievable.
But you know, your fans getting a chance to see the game, the home run derby, fan fest, everything else. Great experience.
I already asked Dave St. Peter if he wanted me to pitch the home run derby.
And what did he say?
Well, he said, yeah, you're probably first in line.
Well, it's okay with me, but that's all I can tell
thank you.
2 strikes to Olivo, with DeDuno throwing nothing but strikes here. And that was a quick half inning. The commissioner will stay with us. This was such a quick inning. We're more than happy to have him stick around for the bottom of the second. That's the best inning he's pitched all year long.
Well, it might be, but those are the kind of innings that I like, so that's all right.
So do we.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Hey, I asked you during the break, I think the greatest fear we had in perhaps not getting the All-Star game was that this American League alternating with the National League every other year, that somehow that system would be disrupted somehow. Wrigley Field, I know, made an appeal to get the 2014 All-Star game.
They did, and
too.
there were actually some other cities, too, but the competition's enormous. You know, I said today, Dick, you probably heard, and I know Bert did, too. years ago, I used to have to beg guys, you got to take the game. And now they're lined up, and the competition is unbelievable. But frankly, given Target Field, given everything that went on here, and the feeling about the Twins and the Twin Cities, I meant what I said today. This one was easy.
Yeah.
This one was easy.
But you think, I mean, the first one here in Minnesota was 65, then
Right.
85 20 years later,
Right.
and now it's 2014. So,
Right.
you know, it's almost 30 years
Oh, no,
in between
no question.
All-Star
You
games.
bet. And but so this was an easy one. No question about it.
Willingham hitting against Vargas, and we'll use that term loosely. He is 0 for 16 with 7 strikeouts against this left-hander. We'll see if he can get something started for the Twins in the second. Dick Raymer, Bert Blyleven, joined by the Commissioner of Baseball, Bud Selig, in town today to announce that the 2014 All-Star Game will be played right here. Third All-Star Game hosted by the Minnesota Twins.
You know, I guarantee you, Commissioner Selig, that there are already people making hotel reservations for 2014 with this announcement.
You bet. That's absolutely correct. There's no question about it. You'll find hotel rooms and any other reservation people are going to be very, very hard to get. And that's why it's great for you. Here's a chance to show the nation this ballpark, which I think you guys heard me say today, just turning and looking. I said that a few weeks ago when I was here. This place is
for the RBI program.
You bet. This place is gorgeous.
Roll to the right side.
That's what he needed.
And Willingham with a bleeder into right field. His first hit in 17 tries against Vargas. Remember when Jock Jones had that terrible drought against Mark Burley, and Jones got a hit similar to that, and Burley jokingly offered him the ball at first base, whether he finally wanted.
Well, you see the smile on Willingham's
Right.
face. You know, it's like, okay, I don't care how I finally got a hit off this gentleman out here, but I finally did.
Hey, Commissioner, you know, the last All-Star game that was here was 1985. That was
Right.
the first year of the Home Run Derby. It was a
Right.
completely different format. Tom Bernansky won it for the American League. It was a team event, not an individual event.
Right.
But how do you explain how it has mushroomed into a 5 or 6 day event?
Well, we use it as a showcase for the national pastime in every way. You want your fans to be a part of it. That's why you have Fan Fest, which is amazing. A month ago in Kansas City, I walked Fan Fest just to, and I really got a kick out of it. I mean, all the stuff that went on, and it's huge. We have a celebrity game on Sunday. We have the Futures game, which every one of our young players has played in. Monday, again, you have Fan Fest, and then you have the Home Run Derby. And you're right, the Home Run Derby has gotten to be huge. In fact, as you know, we just concluded a deal with ESPN.
Right.
And I tell you, there was more conversation during that negotiation about the Home Run Derby than anything else. So it's big. That's the biggest rating of the summer.
Is that right? The
on
Home
ESPN.
Run Derby? Is that
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
Well, Morneau was the Home Run Derby champion the
He
year
was.
that Josh Hamilton put on the phenomenal
Oh,
show at
that's
Yankee
right.
Stadium.
At Yankee Stadium. That's right. He was.
1 and 2, and Morneau flips it foul.
I think Hamilton wore himself out in round one, and by the time he got to round two, he was tired.
Well, what will happen in 2014, the weekend or the week before the All-Star game is held, the Twins will be out of town someplace, and
You bet.
these extra events,
You bet.
Futures game, home run hitting
You bet.
contest, will all be here.
Because the Twins organization, and you guys know how I feel about them, but there's an enormous amount of work. Enormous amount of work.
Good at bat right here for Justin as he gets a new bat, but Vargas working him away, then coming in a couple times. Vargas ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I don't think people fully appreciate all the work in advance of even the announcement. I know the Twins sent a lot of people down to Kansas City.
Sure did.
And scouted the ballpark and how the Royals did things. By all accounts, the Royals handled things very well.
Very well.
We were there right after the All-Star break, and they were just glowing with
Oh,
with
they
how
were.
well
They
did.
were so excited, and I was really glad for Kansas City. Everywhere we've been, Dick, people are thrilled. It leaves a lasting impression, no question.
Morneau with a check swing and a strikeout.
Yeah, he couldn't lay off of that slider right there, and Vargas picks up his first strikeout. went in a couple times. Justin fought some pitches in, away, and then that little cutter that he came up with. That's one reason that Vargas has the winning record at 13-8.
First base umpire Kerwin Danley told Jerry White where he could pick up part of Justin Morneau's bat. Bat boy hadn't cleaned up all the mess, so Jerry went down to pick up a sliver. Here's Ryan Doumit, Twins catcher tonight. Doumit and Willingham and so many of the Twins power hitters have been in a deep drought here, but as we've described in your absence, do you know that he's a Hall of Famer and he takes time off now whenever he wants?
Well, I know he's a Hall of Famer. I certainly do that. I spent time with him in Cooperstown, but I didn't know he took time off.
Yeah.
Well, you have to take time off to go to Cooperstown.
That I know. Well, how much does it extend past Cooperstown?
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I wanted to know.
Well, I guess I won't go back to Cooperstown after Father's Day weekend. Make me feel bad.
2-0 to Doumit.
Well, you go Father's Day, and if you come back Labor Day, that's tough.
Oh boy, Doumit. And they're going to go to second and get Willingham there. That's a good play by Olivo, who didn't concede the lead runner. He retired him on a force out at second base. So Willingham didn't hit the ball hard, but got a base hit, and Doumit hit one about 8 feet in front of home plate.
Yeah, kind of a swinging bunt right here, and Olivo, knowing that Willingham is at first base, picks it up and then shows off a very strong arm to get the force out at second base. No chance to get Doumit at first. But they do get the lead runner, Willingham, for the second out.
Chris Parmelee back up with the club. Jeff Gray optioned to Rochester, and Parmelee gets his chance. He hit about .340 this year with power in Rochester, and the Twins made room for him to fill in while Denard Span's unable to play. Commissioner, we thank you for the announcement today, because this is really going to be a great event for baseball fans in the whole region. And as Paul Molitor said, it's 22 months away, but the time's going to fly.
You bet it will. You'll be surprised how there'll be a lot of preparation, a lot of work, a lot of people coming in to do it. So I'll look forward to being here and being with you all in July of 2014.
Yes, thank you.
Pleasure to be with you.
2 strikes to Chris Parmelee as Vargas tries to continue to handcuff the Twins. Parmelee strikes out, and that takes care of the second inning. We will dismiss the Commissioner of Baseball, and taking the chair next will be Hall of Famer Rod Carew. The Arby's Value Player of the Game. Text the word value followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234234. DeDuno with 35% of the vote. Second inning, his best inning of work. Couple of strikeouts, almost all strikes in the pitches that he threw. We'd mentioned before that the Twins hosted the All-Star game in 1985, and then again in 1965 and 85. And Rod Carew did not play in either one of those, but almost everyone in between. 18 All-Star games in a row.
I got lucky. I kind of sweet talk the fans out there. So
it's different now because they've got internet voting and all that. But I know when you retired, you were far and away the most prolific vote getter. Morneau with a nice backhanded pickup, and Figgins quickly retired. The most prolific vote getter by hundreds of thousands of votes. That's got to make you feel pretty good that so many fans voted for you.
Yeah, I think also it's because of my consistency on the baseball field. And I think people recognize that. I always thank them because, you just never know when you're going to make an All-Star team. And every one that I made sure that I went to.
And Rod, you think back, you were 12-time All-Star for the Minnesota Twins. There wasn't a big market, but, you winning seven batting titles and, just I think what you meant to the organization is why you went so many times. And you're great, you're a Hall of Famer.
Well, people here in the Twin Cities really kind of took me under their wing. And, after I became the elder spokesman, when Harmon left and Tony left, and then I was the veteran player in the club, and they just kind of embraced me and always cheered for me, whatever I did on the field, whether I got a base hit or make an error or struck out with the bases loaded, they always, were very good to me. Was
there ever a time that a good breaking ball right there by Doduno that say, you had some injuries during your 18 stints at the All-Star game, but you could have maybe not gone, but you said, you know what, hey, I owe this to the fans.
Yes, I think in 1970 when I got hurt, I had my knee injury. That's the one I didn't go to. I was elected to go, but I was in the hospital, and I really wanted to get out of the hospital and just go and make an appearance. But Dr. Phelan says, no, you're staying right here.
Well, I wanted to, along with that, I wanted to ask you the question that I asked Paul Molitor this afternoon. He was kind enough to join us. Paul had gone to 8 All-Star games. So I asked him, I said, was it as exciting and fun for you the 8th time as it was the first time? And he mentioned, well, I wasn't Rod Carew. I didn't go 18 times. So let me ask you that. As you were, and your last one was, 84 in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Was it as much fun as it
was?
Yes.
You know why it was fun? Because we had, the president from the American League would come into the locker room. He wanted to win.
Right.
He says, we're going to go out there and we're going to beat up on these guys today. And that's the way we felt. When you go to the All-Star game, it was all about winning. It's all about staying there and hanging around and cheering your teammates after you were taken out of the ball game.
Plouffe charges, bare hands, fires. Good play by Trevor Plouffe for out number 2.
Yeah, very nice play right there. I think he decided, if I get it with my glove and then have to do the exchange, I may not be able to get the speedy runner. So a very nice play by Plouffe, barehanding it and then flipping it over to Morneau.
There's probably no better person to ask than you for the impact you saw in all those years of having an All-Star game for a team in the surrounding area.
Oh, it's going to be great. For the community, for the kids, and for the whole area to be seeing some of the greatest players that are in the game today. And I hope that they all come out and cheer and enjoy it. And the families, I think the All-Star game has gotten to me to be where it's more of a family event than anything else.
I know when I went to my first All-Star game in 1973, I was, 22 years old. I was in awe of walking into there. And I can imagine after 18 years, I know you went, year after year after year. I didn't go back again until 1985. I cherish that like a World Series game. Because it was something that you don't get that many opportunities to do. You were very fortunate to be able to go to 18 All-Star games. Unbelievable.
Yes, I was. And when I used to hear players say, I would rather take the time off to go fishing or spend the time with my family, you never know when you're going to be elected again. So why not do it at the time, when you're voted in?
Well, let's imagine now, 1967, your first one, and you were in a clubhouse with the likes of Kaline. Mantle probably wasn't an all-star anymore. Here's a broken bat.
Was
you know
Babe
what?
Ruth still there?
Another 3 up, 3 down third. We're going to have more with Rod Carew. I'm going to finish the question, and you'll hear his answer when we come back. On Fox Sports North is brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here. No score, bottom of the third, and the Twins will send up Trevor Plouffe, Pedro Florimon, and Ben Revere against Jason Vargas. Dick Bramer, Bert Blyleven, joined by Hall of Famer Rod Carew, came into town as part of the All-Star announcement. We were reminiscing during the break. Mickey Mantle was on the '67 team, your first All-Star team, along with the likes of Brooks Robinson, Frank Robinson, Al Kaline, guys like that. But how about the lineup you must have played against with Aaron, Mays, Banks, had to hit against Gibson? And
Well, you know, my legs, my first at bat, you probably could have heard my legs knocking from the dugout. I mean, I was so nervous, because these are guys that I grew up watching and admiring and hoping that one day, I would play with them.
Right.
And here I am on the field with some of the best that has ever played the game.
What'd you do in your first All-Star at bat? You remember?
I don't remember. If I had gotten a hit, I probably would have remembered.
Well, Plouffe grounding one hard but foul. It's 1 and 2. Well, the big announcement today, not a big surprise by any means, but still it's official now. The Twins and the Twin Cities will host the 2014 All-Star Game.
And I know the Twins are going to do a great job. I really believe that bringing it back and to the new stadium, they're going to do a great job.
Rod, I think, when you first made the All-Star teams in '67 on, I think back then everybody wanted to go, but then for a period of time, there wasn't a lot of interest in the All-Star game. We just had Commissioner Bud Selig here. So, he made it now to where the winning team of the All-Star game has home field advantage. What do you think about that?
Well, he didn't have to do that because we still wanted to win, but he's right. No one wanted to go to the All-Star game. The players didn't want to go, and if they did go, they didn't want to play but one inning and then leave and take off and go home. So what he did was good for baseball.
We will see Pedro Florimon as a right-handed batter with Vargas pitching. But I made the comment, and I know you saw Florimon and worked with him a little bit in spring training. From the left side, he reminded me a little bit of your swing, Tony Fernandez's swing. But tell us about Florimon, and he's hit since he's been up here, and he's shown great range at short.
Well, I think he's going to be a much better hitter from the left side. I really believe so, because I like his bat control when he goes through the hitting zone. And he has to, he runs well, and he really has to concentrate on, dropping some bunts down the line every now and then and just hitting line drives. Don't worry about hitting fly balls, because he's not going to hit that many home runs. 2
quick strikes to Florimon with Plouffe at first after
so
walking.
Almost like a Ben Revere then.
Yeah.
That same principle. I mean, hit it, on the ground, and hopefully you utilize the speed to get on.
Definitely. And if those guys can get the consistency of getting the bat on the ball and putting the ball in play, they're going to be able to score runs. They're going to be able to help the ball club win.
1-2 to Florimon. And now 2-2. Vargas struggling with his control a little bit here in the 3rd inning. Ben Revere will follow.
And I really believe that some of the things that young players have to learn to do is to study pitchers, study their habits, know what pitches they can handle off of a pitcher, and try and get him early. Don't let him get to that pitch that is out pitch. Like Bert, you had that great curveball. That was basically your out pitch. So I never wanted to see that. I wanted to get to the fastball real early.
Yeah, he hit a little doink in the left field.
And laugh as I'm going down the first base line.
Plouffe goes, and Vargas has walked back-to-back batters. First Plouffe, he had Florimon 0-2 and lost him. Now, you've been involved, I know, in all-star game activities. You've probably gone to a number of them after your playing career has ended. It's a different game now. It's a different event. It's really a series of events spread over 5-6 days instead of just the game.
Yeah, they have a lot of things for the families, for kids to come out and do. They have the future games with the young players that are, the next, generation of players. There's so much for family to do when they come, plus the home run hitting contest,
right.
And that's what people want to see. And I think they get spoiled because home runs is not the whole part of the game, right?
I agree.
Give me a guy that can get the bat on the ball consistently. I'm going to take it.
And in this case, get the bunt down.
Yep, like Ben Revere. He has to do the job right here.
He is like a lot of bunters. It seems like it's easier for him to bunt for a base hit than a sacrifice bunt, and I can never figure out why that would be.
That's the only way I could do it. I would always take a crossover step.
Oh, back 2 strikes.
Take the crossover step and make sure I got the bat out front.
We just showed a highlight of you bunting the ball, and that's exactly what you did. You did the crossover, bunted it down the 3rd baseline. But right here, watch Ben Revere, Rod, right here, squaring around and then kind of jabbing at the ball just at the last second.
And if you notice the position that he's in, his hands are too far back. And if he had just rotated his back leg, he would have been able to have that ball further out.
Get the barrel
further
of
out
the bat
front,
out.
right, to keep it in fair territory.
2 strikes with 2 on and nobody out. And hacked foul between Steve Little and the line. You work with Ben. I know I've seen you work a lot with him in spring training. Can he be not
Rod,
even?
this is what I was talking about when I saw this earlier.
Those I would just say stick it in your pocket. But what happens with Ben and the guys that have good speed and it should bunt is they will make a good bunt. The third baseman might make a heck of a play on them, and they just shut it down. They figure I can't bunt against them. I used to want to challenge the guys all the time. My first year, Bob Allison said to me, "Oh, you can't bunt on Brooks Robinson." Well, that game, I laid 2 bunts down on Brooks Robinson, and both of them, Brooks was throwing the ball when I was walking back to first base.
Revere strikes out.
See, an unproductive out right there for Ben Revere. He gets struck, ends up striking out, and both runners still first and second.
I want to ask you this because I asked you this at a banquet this winter. Whether you ever figured out not your batting average, but your bunting average.
Well, I think over my career I had 151 bunt hits and 190 attempts.
Wow.
So you bunted over 750.
Right. But I worked at it because I knew that was part of my game.
That's incredible.
Well, you won 7 batting titles, Rod, and I guarantee you, and I know I played with Brett Butler, I played with you. Brett Butler told me one time, and I know, I've talked hitting about you, just I want to see what, I remember one time you told me off of certain pitchers, the ball looks like a beach ball coming in. And I tell everybody that, how your focus and your concentration must be on certain pitchers that you just picked up the ball right away.
And it slows down.
Yeah.
And it's like they just take it and they just put it out there and say, hit me. And that's, when you get tunnel vision and you concentrate on just a guy, I used to break it down where it's just me and the guy in the mound. Nothing else around me I hurt.
Base hit left field. Plouffe to third. He'll be held. And they're loaded up with 1 down. So Carroll fills them up for Joe Mauer.
Yeah, Jamie Carroll, we talked about before, good success against Vargas. Now 7 hits in 16 at-bats. Got a pitch up. And hit it through the infield, but almost too hard right here because Robinson comes in. Trevor Plouffe thinking about going, but picks up the third base coach Steve Little, who holds him up at third. Now let's go back, with Brett Butler. He told me one time, his 280, 290 hitter, he said every year I'm going to get 20 bunts. And that's going to bring that average to where if I didn't bunt, I'm going to be a 260, 270 hitter. But being able to bunt like Revere or Span probably should be able to, instead of hitting 280, that's maybe 290, maybe 300.
Maybe 300. Right. And the other thing that it does is that it brings the third baseman in and the first baseman in. So you can easily hit high choppers by these guys. You add maybe another 20, 25 bunt hits. So that really takes the average up.
1 strike to Mauer. Twins the only American League team without a grand slam this year, 1-1. Vargas has worked himself into some trouble here by walking the 8 and 9 batters to start the inning. Revere did not drop down the sacrifice. Carroll got his base hit, and the Twins are looking. And maybe only it takes 1 at bat, Rod, to shake the whole team out of a slump. Get everybody to relax a little bit. Because this Twins team right now has had some opportunities like this, and they've really been struggling.
Well, a lot of times when hitters get into this situation, there are some guys that just relax and they go up there and they do the job, and some hitters that just go up there and they start thinking too much, and so at times guessing for pitchers and just trying to pick the ball up and put a good swing on it and put it in play.
Well, really, I mean, the pitcher is more on the defense than the hitter is in this situation. Bases loaded. All you're thinking about is keeping the ball down and hopefully get a ground ball. But now, Vargas against a very good hitter like Joe Mauer, a 2-2 count. He wants something to happen right here. He doesn't want to go 3-2 on Joe Mauer.
Right, because if he does, he knows that he has to come in with the fastball.
Down
right
and
here.
Right. 3-2.
He tried the breaking ball, missed down and away. Now there's only 1 out. With Willingham on deck.
When the Twins have scored, and it hasn't been often enough, it's been 1 run at a time. Chance for Mauer to put a crooked number up on the scoreboard here in the third. 3-2 to Mauer. Lace to left and a base hit. Plouffe will score. Florimon behind him. It's 2-0. He worked the count full, and his first swing of the at-bat delivered a solid single to left.
You got to like that swing right there, Rod, because you know what? I mean, this is Joe Mauer at his best. Ball away, a lot like you did. Just, hey, I'll just go the other way.
Take it to the opposite field. If he had tried to pull that pitch, he might have rolled over and hit a ground ball, double play ball. But he stayed on that ball real nice and just served it out into left field.
You see the speed of Florimon able to score from second base on that base hit to left.
Quick trip to the mound by Carl Willis. Told me today had a tough time with Iwakuma on the mound. He went out to the mound, and Carl's Japanese isn't very good. He said he had memorized something that the translator had told him to tell the starting pitcher yesterday, but by the time he got out to the mound, he had it all jumbled up. Iwakuma kind of looked at him like, huh?
You should have written it down.
Well, here's Willingham. Finally got a hit against Vargas, and it's one of those that will look like a line drive in the box score tomorrow. 7-hopper through the right side of the infield.
And that might get him going. You never know.
Mentioned that the Mariners of all people have homered in 11 straight games, and in that 11-game stretch the Twins have homered once. Morneau hit one on the road trip in Texas.
They've got some good young hitters that the ball really jumps off their bat.
Speaking of the Mariners?
Mariners,
yeah. 2 strikes to Willingham. Fergus is going to have nightmares about this inning already. He had Florimon 0-2 and ended up walking him. And now Willingham hooks one foul.
Well, the guys are hitting in the bottom of the lineup for a reason, and he ended up walking Plouffe and Florimon to really set up this inning for the Twins.
And those are the guys you want to try and get out.
You have to get them out.
You can't get behind and end up walking those guys.
Plouffe and Florimon have each scored. And now 2 strikes to Willingham. Lifted high and fairly deep to right. Thames with the catch. Tagging from second is Carroll. He'll advance 2 away. And that'll bring up Morneau. Morneau with a strikeout his first time up. Twins taking the early lead here in the 3rd inning. Morneau, Rod, has greatly improved his hitting against left-handed pitching. The overall numbers aren't very good, but he really struggled early on. Big swing there. What were your keys to hitting against a left-hander?
Lefties, I just tried to keep the ball in the middle of the field to left center field.
Never tried to pull.
Never tried to pull. And at times you might get a hanging curveball that you can pull, but I really concentrated middle of the field to left field because that was where I could hit the ball well.
That's going to be trouble. It drops for a hit. Carroll scores. It's 3-0, and Morneau with a little pop fly to the middle of the field. And he gets an RBI single.
Well, it doesn't always have to be the prettiest hit, but it's a productive hit for Justin right off the end of the bat. And he's got a little smirk on his face right there. Picks up an RBI, his 62nd of the year. Look at that. Right off the end of the bat. Kind of in no man's land.
And tomorrow it looks like a line drive in the papers.
3-0 Twins, and now Domit, who reached on a fielder's choice. He was fooled by a Vargas pitch, and he hit a little spinner in the dirt about 8 feet in front of the plate. Fastball and strike one.
I remember playing, Gilman was playing golf behind us in spring training. We lost 24 balls on the front 9.
Who was this?
Gilman. He was playing with Willingham, I think, and the front 9 he lost 2 or 3 dozen golf balls. So at the end of the day, I went out and bought him a couple dozen and set him on his chair.
Get the ones that X out?
The X out ones, yeah.
Foul back
because you're going to lose those too. Let's take a look at Joe Mauer, on this swing right here that drove in a couple runs, just went down, hit a line drive to left field, and Mr. Carew. That ball left up a little bit. Looks like that was to left center, probably a line drive.
Those were the toughest ones for me to hit. The easier ones were the ones that Joe hit, like the one that Joe hit down, for that base hit.
Well, now you tell me.
Rod Carew got won his 7 batting titles with the Twins, but his milestone hit, number 3,000, came in an Angels uniform against the Twins and Frank Viola.
Yeah, the thing that I liked about that, it was against the Minnesota fans that I could let them see.
Rod, great to see you. Thanks for coming in, and we'll look forward to seeing you the 2014 All-Star
Thank you,
game.
Mr. Carew.
And there's the unique look on our GoPro shot. And you can submit a question online at carsoup.com/baseball. Carson Shepard of St. Paul wondering, Bert, do you have a favorite All-Star memory?
Well, first of all, just being on 2 All-Star games, probably my first one, only because I was supposed to pitch a 4th inning. I came in a 3rd. I got the loss in that first All-Star game, but at 22 years old, being able to pitch against guys like Pete Rose and Joe Morgan and Hank Aaron and Johnny Bench, guys like that to me is something that I will never forget. 1985, I was a little more established. I kind of took that in a little bit easier, I think, than that first line. I was shaking like Rod was, in 1973. 85, I was a little more comfortable.
Well, and you had won a World Series by 1985.
Right.
With the Pirates. Trayvon Robinson with 2 strikes, and Samuel DeDuno pitching remarkably well. He's retired 8 men in a row. He's picked up a couple of strikeouts.
And I think the most important thing, Dick, is he put up 3 zeros the first 3 innings, and now the Twins have that 3-0 lead. So many times we have seen the staff, the starters, give up 1, 2, 3 or more in the first 3 innings, and then it's kind of a battle to get back into the game for the offense. But here, so far, DeDuno has been outstanding. He's thrown 41 pitches, 27 first strikes. No walks, 3 strikeouts.
And Dolmet can't hang on to strike 3.
Oh,
flips
look at
to
the
first.
movement on that baseball right there.
Well, Dolmet said the first time he caught DeDuno in advance of that, he had a hard time sleeping. So. 1985 All-Star game. Tom Bernansky, the lone representative for the Twins. He ended up winning the home run hitting contest.
Oh, there's some other guys from Minnesota here. Look at that. Molitor, Morris, Winfield.
That beard used to be something other than gray?
Now watch this play right here. The ball gets by the catcher, Carlton Fisk, and then the best athlete in the world gets him out at second base.
You know, one thing, and this, I hadn't thought about this.
I did give up a run, though, on that. But I got him out at second.
I got a story to tell you about Lou Whitaker, who got the putout on that. I don't want to take away your glory for throwing a one-hop throw to second base.
You see where I was? I was way up in foul territory.
All right, now watch it. Number one, Lou Whitaker had to go to a concession stand at the Metrodome and get a Tiger jersey because he didn't, or the Tigers didn't bring it with him from Detroit.
Yeah.
Bouncer to third. Plouffe has it.
So what's your point? He was still out.
But I think that's a little more interesting than you throwing the ball on one hop to second base.
That was a P. That was a rocket. Best athlete in the world. Had to be where he's supposed to be. Right, Rex? Ken Herbeck's in the booth.
Right.
Right. I was supposed to be back there. If I was on the mound picking my nose, he would have been safe at second. It doesn't matter who gave up the hit.
Yeah, that's right. Here's Jaso.
Who invited him in here anyway?
I did, actually. How lucky am I, by the way? I mean, in the last inning, I'm up here watching a Twins game with two Hall of Famers. And now Herbeck walks in. He's got his number retired. He's got the statue. I mean, this is a good night for me.
It was a very good night. And the Commissioner of Baseball.
The Commissioner of Baseball was here. 2-0 to Jaso.
There's Torontosaurus Rex, retired number 14.
Kent, a former All-Star, 1982 in Montreal. First All-Star game I ever went to. I went there to cover Mr. Herbeck. And a changeup on the outside corner for strike two.
Yeah, we've seen all three of his pitches working very nicely. That strikeout that he struck out Robertson, that was unbelievable. The movement on that fastball, then the changeup, now the breaking ball.
Wow.
Breaking ball right there.
Is he pitching well tonight or what? He's got command of all his pitches. And he's pitched 4 shutout innings and has a 3-0 lead. The bottom of the 4th. Steve Stroh, otherwise known as Steve S. for many years, he was one of our regular Carsoup.com email questioners, passed away the other day. He's the brother of one of our producers, John Stroh. So this is a sad day for all of us with Fox Sports North, and to his family and wife Carolyn. Our deepest sympathies.
Yes, yes. I went to the funeral this morning. Very, very moving, and He was very highly respected.
And Shannon should know that her daddy was a favorite of ours, even though we didn't put him on TV. We put his name and first name and initial on TV a lot. We had a lot of fun with Steve S. over the years. And I got the distinct, that ball past Smoke and into the corner. Parmalee will round first and go to second. He's got the sneaking suspicion that Steve S. knew a lot more about baseball than I did.
Yeah, Steve S. from Plymouth.
That's right.
Yep.
So Parmalee ends up at second base.
Yeah, we'll see how they rule this right here, because it kind of went through the wickets of Smoke at first base. Parmalee hitting the ball sharply. The one hop right there. Ball that probably should have been
That's got to be an error, isn't it?
They really haven't flashed anything up there yet.
Well, I'm going to put an error, and I'm not going to change it.
I'd give him a double. Oh, it is an error.
It is an error. Here's Plouffe. Strike one.
So Smoke charged with an error at first base. Only his third of the year.
Plouffe drew a leadoff walk in the third inning. He and Florimone both walked and scored. High and deep to left center field. This ball is tagged, and it is gone. A home run. Plouffe finally hits number 20.
His last home run coming July 3rd. And then he spent time on a disabled list. So Trevor Plouffe, that has to feel good. His 20th of the year. And the Twins take a 5-0 lead. Fastball middle in, and that's what we saw Plouffe do so many times in June when he hit 11 home runs in a month. Drew Butera saying, yes, finally.
He reacted like he called that in the dugout. So 5-0, and Florimone fouls it back to the screen.
And for Vargas, that's his 30th home run allowed this year.
The leader is Tommy Hunter in Major League Baseball with 32. This went doink down the right field line. Florimone will take it, and he'll round first and scamper to second base. Another one. That'll look like a line drive in the box score tomorrow.
You know, as a pitcher, sometimes you go out there, and we've seen 3 times already in this ballgame. Willingham right off the end of the bat. Morneau right off the end of the bat. And here, Florimone just taking that ball the other way, right off the end of the bat. And it's kind of doinked down that right field line. Florimone with a double. His third double.
Fan reaching over, fan interference, allowing Florimone to take second base. That's where the umpires ruled he would have been if the fan hadn't reached over. Every once in a while, you'll see an umpire give a runner a third base. 1-0 to Ben Revere. And a strike with Olivo threatening to throw to second. Revere bounced to second in the first, was asked to bunt in the third. He tried twice, failed, and then ended up striking out. Twins got a couple of singles in the next 2 at bats. Revere swings and misses 1 and 2, and still managed to score 3 runs in the inning. But now here, with nobody out, Revere wants to do what he can to advance Florimone to third base.
Vargas already at 75 pitches, 37 pitches thrown in that third inning when he led off that inning by walking Plouffe and Florimone.
And fouled out of play. A tough goal for Vargas, and he's been his own worst enemy in some instances. The 2 leadoff walks in the third. He's had some cheap hits go against him. He finds himself behind 5-0. The error by Smoke didn't help either. Breaking ball down and away. Ouch.
What a great sound.
That ball hit Revere right above his hand.
That might have got a thumb right there.
And he gets Florimon to third base.
Watch Vargas come in on Ben Revere. Now he's just trying to pull that ball, but boy, Ben Revere he fell backwards after that swing. And it took him a while to get going.
Oh, terrible. Awful sound of a bat break.
But he did his job. Now it's up to Jamie Carroll to drive him in.
Infield in. The Twins up 5-0.
Here in our Circle Me Bert guest tonight, we have Denise. You are, I see, a Pittsburgh Pirate fan. Remember 1979? We are family. Yes, that's your hat. And looks like your daughters are Twin fans. Very good, very good. Welcome up to the booth. Enjoy. And it looks like you're moving in here. You brought everything. Dick, you're going to do a lot of signing between innings.
Yeah, I don't think we'll. I'll sign on John Candelaria's picture there.
Horsehead?
That was his nickname?
That was his nickname, Horsehead. Oh, she's showing me a great picture of Willie Stargell.
2-0 to Carroll.
And that was you. Wow. Great man.
3-0 with Mauer on deck.
You know, Vargas coming into this ball game against the American League Central Division, he had made 8 starts prior to this. He was 5-0 against the Central Division. So Twins have a chance to do something that no other team in the Central Division been able to do against Vargas yet this year, and that's beat him.
Down the middle of strike.
Vargas in his career against the Twins, making his 7th career start. He's 2-1 with an ERA at 3.8. Well, he has struggled here tonight with his control, and then Twins getting some breaks here or there. And isn't it nice to see the Twins getting some breaks?
Mm-hmm. Line sharply to Kawasaki, and that's out number 2. That'll leave it to Mauer. This Major League season on Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Clubs of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. Visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Here's Mauer, drove in the first 2 runs with a single. Strike 1. Mauer took 5 pitches in his 3rd inning at bat. The count ran full, and he drove a sharp single to left that scored both Florimon and Carroll. Inside, 1-1.
And Dick, that 3-2 pitch really was not that bad of a pitch. It's almost like Liam Hendricks, when gave up the home run the other night. Good pitch down and away, and credit the hitter, Mauer right there by just taking it the other way. That's what even Rod Carew mentioned. Good piece of hitting by Joe Mauer.
Chopper to the right side. Mauer is thrown out, and the inning ends. The Twins add 2 more on the Plouffe home run. A 5-0 Twins lead, and we say goodbye to our good friend Steve Stroh.
Gallner with one of the many things you can do here at the Minnesota State Fair, have a caricature drawn. And I've always wanted to be immortalized with a Hall of Famer like Burt Blyleven. So, artist Bill, would you be able to do a caricature of me with Burt Blyleven?
Absolutely, no problem.
You're familiar with Burt?
I'm very familiar with Burt, yes.
Okay, so we can check back in a little bit on this drawing?
Yep, come back in about 15 minutes.
Okay, well, we'll check back on the caricature of me, Burt Blyleven.
There's no way that guy can draw me.
I'm guessing
Donald
maybe
Duck.
3-4 minutes on Marnie and 11 or 12 minutes on you.
Maybe longer. Maybe longer.
You've got, well, let's put it this way. You've got features that would that would require some time.
A lot of brush up, maybe?
Here's Justin Smoke. Samuel DeDuno has been awesome so far here tonight. Swing and a miss, and there's been a lot of those. He's thrown tonight 53 pitches, 36 strikes, and in just about every start we've seen, with the exception of his last one, it's been about a 50-50 split.
And that changeup, every changeup he's thrown seems to be down in the strike zone.
A little dribble to right side, easy play for Carroll. You saw Fox Tracks, brought to you by Window Concepts of Minnesota. Join Fox Sports North at the Minnesota State Fair now through Labor Day at 1311 Underwood Street, across from the Ballpark Cafe. We've got a noon game tomorrow, and you can, if you're going to the fair, watch the Twins game on the big screen TVs and meet Tim Laudner from 12 to 1. Timmy will be there watching the game. Log into foxsportsnorth.com. Click on the event banner for complete details. So one down, and Eric Thames, who was called out on strikes, stands in there now with one strike.
Boy, doing a good job of getting ahead. 15 batters, 10 first pitch strikes.
You know, we've got DeDuno now, 56 pitches, 39 strikes, better than a 2-to-1 ratio. I'm not sure we ever thought we would see that. So the Twins have to be encouraged. They've scored 5 runs.
Thames hurting right now. He might maybe pulled something on that last swing.
2 strikes. And down and away.
Look at the movement on this last pitch right here. You see that dome, it almost. It's almost like you're catching a knuckleball.
That's the analogy Mauer used with a strikeout, a swinging strikeout, and out number 2.
And strikeout number 6 in the ball game from DeDuno. See the bottom just fall out of that pitch.
DeDuno making starts these days because, frankly, the Twins don't have many other options. Next spring, in March, there will be options. So these starts that he has here in August now into September are very important for him if he wants to be a part of the starting pitcher picture next year. And 1, 2, 3 innings will help. But this strike to ball ratio is what really is going to help his cause if he can maintain it through the end of this season.
Well, you hope he can. That's what the Twins are looking for. That's what Terry Ryan is looking for. You know, give me some more pitching help. And it's up to these guys. They're getting the opportunity, and you try to make the most out of it. Look at that swing right there by a veteran hitter in Olivo. Hard breaking ball, down and away. A check swing.
One and 2. Pulled foul. DeDuno on the verge of completing 5 shutout innings, just 1 base runner. And it wasn't a walk. It was a single, a clean one, a looping liner into right field off the bat of Robinson. And now a fly ball. Chased by Parmelee. But it's out of play. There's been 1 fly ball out. Seager's fly to Revere in the first inning. Everything else has been swung on and missed or beaten into the ground. Twins announced today, Major League Baseball announced that the Twins will host the 2014 All-Star Game. And my hope is that in 2014 we have a nearly full moon and no clouds like we have here tonight. Isn't that a gorgeous sight?
Yep,
my goodness.
Right over downtown Minneapolis.
Olivo hits one 18 inches in front of the plate. He's thrown out by Doman, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Samuel DeDuno.
Minnesota Twins, welcome back to Target Field and welcome inside the Minnesota State Lottery Winner's Circle 100 scratch-off tickets for two very special people, Guthrie and Kira. And Kira's at her first Twins game, and her mom is watching as she serves our country in Afghanistan. And Kira, I see that you've got I Heart Morneau on there, but more importantly, a tribute to your mom who's serving our country, and you want to say hi to her on television tonight. Can you say hi to Mommy?
Hi, Mommy. We love you.
Hi, Mommy, we love you. Bert, she likes you. She wants to be circled, but she loves her mom. And as you can see from the sign, she loves Justin Morneau.
She can love everybody. And congratulations, you are hereby circled. And Mommy, come home safe. We love you.
Twins have a 5-0 lead. And Josh Willingham will lead things off. Willingham now 1 for 18 against Vargas, but he's made contact twice. A little roller through the right side of the infield for a base hit in the second, then a big fly ball to right field that advanced a Carroll from second to third. And strike two.
You see constantly coaching. Joe Vavra talking to Ben Revere. Coaches don't get enough credit sometimes. I know we try to throughout the year, Dick, let everybody know what the coaches do, the time that they have to put in to try to teach these players the game of baseball, the hours that they put in.
One and two. Willingham sending one back our way. Willingham, Morneau, and Doman. Twins got 3 runs in the third, 2 runs in the fourth. And Vargas thought he got a called third strike, and I think Willingham thought he'd taken one too. Very close.
Yeah, Vargas with 4 strikeouts in a ball game thought it was number 5.
Deep to left. And Vargas is barking at Doug Eddings as Willingham trots around the bases. And Vargas is going to get tossed from the game here very quickly. Eric Wedge is going to try to keep his starter in the game. Foxtrax showed that it was a ball, not a strike. And on the very next pitch, Willingham hits a tape measure shot.
Yeah, Willingham, home run number 32 for Josh Willingham. Great swing right there by Willingham. And Vargas giving up his second home run of the ball game, now 31 on the year.
Morneau with an RBI single, hit a little pop fly into short center. He takes up an in ball one. So Plouffe has homered, Willingham has homered. Remember in June, seemed like they had a two-man relay race for the home run lead for the Twins. 1-1. Breaking ball missing, 2-1.
Let's take a look at the pitch that prior to the home run. Pretty close pitch right there. Olivo held it, but then saw Olivo sitting away, and the ball came right into that swing zone for Willingham, and he crushed it. Pretty much right down the middle of the plate.
And there's a called third strike on the inside corner. Now Morneau doesn't care for the strike zone at Doug Eddy.
Vargas does pick up his fifth strikeout, getting Morneau for the second time in a ball game.
And that looked like it had the corner, according to Foxtrax. Dome at 0 for 2. Hit the little spinner in front of the plate and then went down swinging in the third. Twins would love to get Domet going. It looked for a while like he was on the verge of getting his batting average to 300. But now he's hit the skids a little bit. Pop foul into the seats. Two strikes. Stroke down the left field line and a base hit. So Domet's aboard with a one-out single. Tomorrow at 12:10, the Twins and Mariners will close out their season series and this 4-game series. It's a Treasure Island Senior Day. Fans 55 and better can get a $5 discount on Field Box and Powerball Pavilion tickets for all weekday day games. Line up your Treasure Island Senior Day tickets. Call 800-33-TWINS or log on to twinsbaseball.com. Here's Chris Parmelee. A strikeout in the second, hit the ball hard past a lunging Smoke. Smoke charged with a 2-base error.
It's good to see the Twins offense coming alive. That was our kind of a GMC keys to the game. Get the offense going, but also put some zeros on the board, and it's kind of worked both ways here tonight. The Duno's done a great job, and the Twins offense had 8 hits.
Nice running and tumbling catch by Kawasaki. And Parmelee is retired. Sometimes it happens. When Rod Carew was up here, I asked him about getting another look at Kawasaki's run and catch. But as hitters up and down the lineup can go into a slump together, and we've seen that happen obviously with the Twins. Sometimes one at bat, Mauer's 2-run single maybe, just letting everybody relax a little bit, and then they are able to have better at bats. Yeah. Vargas comes out with some muttering about the home plate umpire. guide to register for a chance to win a VIP experience for two to a 2012 World Series game presented by Scotts, the official lawn care company of MLB.
Let's take another look at that GMC keys to the game, and it's been very nicely done here tonight. Get the offense going. Twins with 8 hits. They put 6 runs on the board, and Duno. And this is a key right here. I mean, you know, when the Twins have been get ahead in the ball game, pretty good record, 34-19.
Well, it's easy then. We need to score earlier runs.
Yeah, score first.
Carter Capps, no relation to Matt, can throw the heck out of the ball.
Yeah, Capps making just his 7th major league appearance in his rookie season for the Mariners. Just 22 years old.
97 and down below the knees for ball 1.
Capps started the season down in AAA. Was called up July 31st by the Mariners. 6'5", 220, a fastball that has been clocked near 100 miles an hour.
98's
it's not
close
bad.
to 100
That's
miles
close.
per hour. 1-1. That's a heck of a catch by Olivo. 2-1. Well, Plouffe hit so many home runs in such a rapid fire. Look at that. He had that cluster of home runs from May into June. And we thought, oh my goodness, can this guy hit 30? Can he hit 40? And then it looked for a long time like he might not hit 20. He got stuck on 19 for almost 2 months.
Well, in the month of June, he hit 11 home runs in the month of June. I mean, you thought at that time, like you're talking about, Dick, here he goes. He's, you know, really in a great groove. Then he got hurt. That didn't help. I think the biggest thing for Plouffe's last home run, it came with a runner on base. 16 of his 20 home runs have been solo home runs. So we'd like to see those 2 3-run home runs.
3 seasons within 1 for Trevor Plouffe. Wasn't getting a chance to play much in the first 22 games. And then he took off, hit nearly 300 with all the power.
Well, let's hope that the middle one right there is the way that he ends the season.
In at 98 and fouled to the screen.
And pulling for Trevor.
You know, the interesting thing for Twins fans to see Plouffe emerge as someone who's capable of hitting home runs in bunches is usually once players figure out how to do it, they don't forget. Doesn't mean they're going to do it all the time, but if you see that they're capable of it and the player is convinced he's capable of it, well, you have a reference point, you know, and you can fight through some tough weeks and knowing that, okay, if I ever get the next one, then the one right after that might be pretty quick after that.
I think what I have seen from Trevor Plouffe, a lot of home runs he hit were middle in. So once he starts taking that ball the other way, especially what Capps is doing right here, just pitching him hard away. Now he's going inside. And a good swing, but a line drive out.
Twins got into the Seattle bullpen in the 5th inning thanks to Josh Willingham's 32nd home run of the year.
State Fair, where we've asked our artist Bill to draw a caricature of myself with Bert Blyleven so I could be immortalized with a Hall of Famer. Bill, let's see the finished product.
There you go.
Okay, that's me. That's Bert.
And that's a nightcrawler on a stick.
That's a nightcrawler on a stick.
That's
Yummy,
scary.
Right? You can get them just down the road here.
Marnie looks
We are at the
beautiful.
fair.
Yeah, congratulations.
That's a keeper, Marnie.
You look more like Justin Timberlake.
Nightcrawler on a stick. They are edible.
You prove that.
Yes.
1-0 to Sean Figgins. He had a ground ball to Morneau his first time up. And a strike, 1-1.
It's been a tough ride for Sean Figgins in Seattle. He just has not been able to click the way he did when he was with the Angels. He was always a Twins killer when he was with the Angels, but now in Seattle, his playing time has diminished.
2-1. That, when we played the Angels, and they had a very good lineup, Darren Erstad didn't care if he was hitting against the Twins in the 9th inning. Tim Salmon, whoever else they had. I did not want to see Sean Figgins hit against the Twins in the 9th inning. That's how good he was against the Twins.
Well, he became a free agent, went to Seattle and signed that big contract, and they still are obligated for another year plus a vesting year in 2014. But just last year he hit only 188.
That's
that ball
foul.
hooked foul, and it was always because Ichiro, before Ichiro was traded to New York, Figgins was the leadoff hitter for the Angels. He did a great job of getting on base, stealing bases, scoring a lot of runs. Came to Seattle, all of a sudden Ichiro didn't want to move from that leadoff spot, so Sean Figgins hit second, and he never really took off. It never worked out. Now, when Ichiro was traded, they tried Figgins in that leadoff spot, but that didn't work either. So
his career average with the Angels, if I can do some quick figuring here, looked like it's just over 300. Hit for a little bit of power. Stole bases. As many as 62 steals for the Angels in 2005.
Made the All-Star team in 2009 for the Angels.
2-2. Chopper again to first. Morneau has it. DeDuno at the bag, one away.
And he's retired now 15 straight Mariners.
AT&T Tribute, who's the only Twin to win the All-Star Game MVP award. And if I can offer you a hint, it is not Harmon Killebrew, even though Harmon talked about that a number of times in interviews. The 1971 All-Star Game, the one in Detroit where Reggie Jackson hit one up on the roof. Harmon hit a big 3-run home run in that game. And he was asked to do a post-game interview to receive acknowledgement as the All-Star Game MVP. And as the camera came on, I don't know who was interviewing. It might have been Sandy Koufax. Koufax was doing some TV work back then. They told Harmon and the interviewer, whoever it was, no. They recounted it's Frank Robinson. So the post-game interview was done with Harmon, and they told Harmon that Frank Robinson was the All-Star Game MVP.
And Harmon, I'm sure,
well, he really
that
deserved
he
it. He just had a great game and all that.
Right.
2-1 to Kawasaki. 2-2. 75-76 pitches, 53 strikes now for DeDuno.
Kawasaki coming over from Japan in his first season with the Mariners. Played 11 seasons in Japan. He's 31 years old.
DeDuno will take care of it himself. 2 down. Well, let's take you back to 1965 at Metropolitan Stadium, 5th year of Twins baseball. Tony Oliva was there. Zoilo Versailles, Jimmy Hall. Mudcat Grant struck out Pete Rose in that game. And against Jim Maloney, Harmon with a big home run. Brooks Robinson at first. They both came around to score. I think that Harmon's home run tied the game at 5, and then the National League went ahead and won it. So yes, the Twins came here in 1961, and then in the 5th year of Twins baseball, they hosted their first All-Star game. They moved indoors in 1982, and in the 4th year of indoor baseball, they hosted the All-Star game at the Metrodome. And now in 2014, in the 5th year at Target Field, they'll get the game again. Ackley, the batter, strike 1.
I got a kick out of Commissioner Bud Selig saying that for a while there were teams that really, I mean, it wasn't like, hey, I want it, that there was, you know, he almost had to kind of beg some clubs to take the All-Star game. Where now, I mean, they're waiting in line. And I think everything that goes with it now, I think, has helped a lot. The Fan Fest and all that, the home run hitting contest, the Futures game.
Fan Fest has been referenced for those of you who, there's a strikeout. Domet fires to first, another strikeout, another 1-2-3 inning for Samuel DeDuno, his 5th 1-2-3 inning in a row. The Coors Light 6th inning and the Coors Light freeze cam.
Yeah, now Vargas starting for the M's. You can see where he releases the ball, and that creates that good slider, cutter, down and away. And for DeDuno, the same thing. On top of the ball, creating that downward plane and picking up one of his 7 strikeouts so far in this ballgame. And the 7 strikeouts, a career high for DeDuno.
Frostbrewed Coors Light freeze cam. That's a foul ball. Florimon is a lefty. Nearly bounced it right over the bag. That was pretty close.
Well, DeDuno so far, the only hit allowed came the second batter he faced, Robinson, in the first inning, a base hit. Other than that, he's retired 17 straight.
And a fastball blown past Florimon. 0-2.
Mariners have some young, good arms out in that bullpen. And
wow,
there's a fastball there. Capps throws across his body a bit, but boy, what a fastball.
One down in the 6th. Follow the Twins with MLB.com. @BAT12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, or Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and much more. Text @BAT 31826 or visit twinsbaseball.com. One gone in the 6th. Here's Ben Revere. Another one off the handle of the bat, and Revere's retired. 2 down.
He's going to have to check after the ball game if he has any thumbs left after those last 2 at bats.
2 down, and Jamie Carroll will hit. Revere in center field in the leadoff spot. Denard Span did have an MRI done today and was able to get through it. He's had some issues with claustrophobia in trying to get those MRIs done. But he got through it today, so we should know more about his availability. It's Ron Gardenhire says it's going to be on a day-to-day basis. Strike 1.
Well, you think as a right-handed hitter, this would be a tough guy to face in Carter Capps, only because where he steps, long stride, but really throws across his body.
And Carroll to right field. Catch made by Thames, and the Twins go down 1-2-3 in the 6th. Story of the game, and it's been all Twins.
Boy, Joe Mauer with a big 2-run single in the 3rd inning, and then the Twins added another run, made a 3-0 lead. Willingham, with his 32nd home run of the year, gave the Twins a 6-0 lead, and Samuel Doduno has taken it the whole ball game. He has been outstanding. Only 1 hit allowed, a career-high 7 strikeouts so far, and a very good pitch count at 80 pitches in the first 6 innings.
That's off of Robinson's foot. Strike 1. Time now for the CenturyLink high-speed pitch.
Yeah, Jason Vargas started for the Mariners. He ended up going 4 2/3 innings, clocked as high as 91. Doduno at 93.
Robinson, Seager, and Jaso. Robinson's base hit in the 1st inning, a soft line drive into right field. The only hit for the Mariners, their only base runner. He stole 2nd, went to 3rd on a deep fly ball, and was left there.
I'll tell you what, Dick, that changeup that he has shown tonight has been outstanding. Yeah, he's getting ahead with a fastball, but that changeup right there, that seems like every changeup he has thrown has been knee high or lower.
Ooh, where was that pitch? Doduno thought he had it. What's Foxtrax say?
Well, watch,
by Carey.
Yeah, watch Dome it right here. He kind of frames it a second, holds it, but didn't get the call.
1-2 to Robinson. And the fastball, or changeup, I guess.
That was like a cutter or something. It had a little break to it. So strikeout number 8 for Doduno.
AT&T trivia question, and the answer is Kirby Puckett, I believe, in Baltimore, 1993.
How about his charisma? How about his love for life and baseball? Kirby Puckett. We miss you, Puck.
Kirby hit a home run in that game against future Twin Terry Mulholland. Down and away, ball one. I was actually at that game. I kind of made a habit of going to All-Star games. 1992, the game was in San Diego. Tom Kelly managed, and so many Twins were there. I just figured, well, I may as well go too. So we flew from Baltimore all the way over to San Diego after a Sunday game. And then the next year it was in Baltimore, and the Twins were opening up the second half of the season in Baltimore, so I was going to end up in Baltimore anyway, so I thought I'd go a little early.
And you enjoyed those games?
Oh, I did. And then I took my family to 3 straight in Seattle, Milwaukee, and Chicago 8, 9, 10 years ago. Into center field, Seager gets the second Mariner hit.
And that ends a streak of 18 straight batters retired by DeDuno. Great job.
Tomorrow afternoon, final game of the series, and it will be a Sports Authority value pack game. Purchase a ticket in the U.S. Bank Home Run Porchview seats, and you'll get a free Schweigert hot dog and a Pepsi. Line up your tickets for tomorrow's game by calling 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. John Jaso takes a strike. Anyway, for someone who independently decided to travel and go to All-Star games, I'm tickled to death that the thing is coming here in a couple of
finally
years.
Coming to see you. It's about time.
No, it just means I won't have to travel as far to go see one. 1-1 to Jaso. And as I suggested with the commissioner, the Twins will be out of town as they have to clear the field, get it ready for one thing for the events of the week, down and in, and then they will have the Futures game, which is I think played on Sunday. The Twins will be in Kansas City, who knows where, but they won't be home the week before.
Could be in a National League city.
That's exactly right. 2-1 to Jaso. 2-2. A home run hitting contest. And I can see Prince Fielder or whoever it might be, Justin Morneau maybe, lofting balls over onto the plaza during the home run hitting contest.
Hey, let's hope it's Justin.
Dribbler to short. Florimone flips to first, and Seager moves to second.
DeDuno getting into the kitchen a little bit of Jaso, and Jaso hitting that ground ball. Seager going to second for the second out, though.
Acknowledging that there's a big difference pitching against the Texas Ranger lineup and the Seattle Mariner lineup. This is still an encouraging outing for DeDuno because he's thrown strikes. Hasn't walked a man.
Yeah. I don't care who's out there. I mean, as far as the opponent has a bat in their hand, and any given night, anybody can be dangerous. So what DeDuno's doing right here is a great job.
White Sox have beaten Baltimore 8-1. The Yankees lost today to Toronto. And in the ninth inning, Tampa Bay has an 8-4 lead over Texas. And right now, I'm guessing there's some nervous people around the Bronx. If Tampa Bay wins, they'll be 4 games back. The Orioles will still be 3.5 back.
Yeah, the Yankees are struggling a little bit, but the Rays, I believe they have lost 4 straight coming into tonight's play. So Tampa Bay is they're looking for a win.
With that starting pitching, there won't be many 4-game losing streaks the rest of the way. Two 2-0 to Justin Smoke. Bruce Chen is shutting out the Tigers in the 8th inning. Kansas City leads Detroit 1-0.
Well, 95 pitches. He has yet to walk a batter. Falls behind on the count here.
3-0 to Smoke. And a strike. Thames on deck.
Well, with the pitch count where it is at 96, probably his last inning. Finish it strong.
Strike 2 called as he shaves the corner.
Went to the fastball. Basically, here it is. Hit it. Seen Eddings kind of give that, take it away. Give it, take it away. That outside corner. Outside pitches.
Got him. 7 shutout innings for Samuel Deduno.
Sports North is brought to you by McDonald's. Quench your thirst. Get any size soft drink or sweet tea for just $1. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota. Hurry in for big savings during Toyota's nationwide clearance event going on now.
Good night for the Twins. Good night for their fans. It's 6-0. Joe Mauer will lead off the 7th inning.
And Deduno has been outstanding. Only 2 hits, both singles, career high 9 strikeouts, 98 pitches, 68 for strikes, no walks. Wow.
One and 0 to Mauer. And up high again at 97. Mauer might have had that one at bat that allowed everybody else to relax a little bit. A 2-run single, driving in the first 2 runs of the game. And he's got another base hit later in the inning. A couple of home runs have followed. There's a crackling fastball at 98.
You know, Dick, it's not only the offense, it's also the 2-run single that he got in that 3rd inning. Twins added another run for a 3-0 lead. All of a sudden, now as a starter, you put 3 zeros on the board. Now your offense gives you 3 runs. Boy, does that make you relax a little bit out there, too. And Deduno, 7 shutout innings.
Well, this is like an offensive explosion for the Twins. In the 8 prior games, the Twins had scored a total of 13 runs against Seattle, and they have 6 of them tonight.
99 miles per hour.
I'll talk about this young man, 22 years old, as we kind of break down his delivery a little bit. He throws a little bit across his body, has a tendency to get underneath that pitch a little bit, but boy, what an arm he has been blessed with. Mariners' number 3 pick last year, already making his major league debut this year. As a reliever, we'll take a couple different looks at young Carter Capps. Step across his body a little bit, and you see the arm, good arm action after he releases the ball.
Another 3-2 to Mauer. Three straight fastballs at 99 miles per hour, and Mauer's gotten a piece of all of them. It reminds me of left-handed, though, Aroldis Chapman, and how he threw so hard when the Twins saw him, and Mauer kept flaring off some pitches, took some close pitches, ended up getting his double. Willingham hit the home run, and as of a week and a half ago, Chapman had not allowed a run since Willingham's home run. There's a drive to deep center field. Way back and off the wall. Mauer to second. He'll try for 3. And he's in with a triple.
Well, there's that what you're talking about, Dick. You know, he kept fouling pitches off and almost like I'm going to time him. And, you know, young Carter Capps is going to keep challenging him with that high 90-mile-an-hour fastball. And it's looked like Joe right here, okay, I'm going to be a little quicker. And boy, was he. At 98-mile-an-hour fastball, Joe speeding it up. And the ball looked like it was going to go out of the ballpark. Higgins goes back, gets turned around a little bit, and by the time the ball could get back into the infield, Joe Mauer with the second triple of the year.
Here's Willingham. I thought that ball was gone when it left home plate, and there is some wind blowing in from right field that might have helped knock it down. So Willingham gets some 99-mile-per-hour heat.
I can only imagine as a hitter when you're facing a guy like a Nolan Ryan or someone that's throwing in the upper 90s that you have to say, okay, I have to be a little quicker. And boy, did Joe put a charge into that ball.
There's a drive to right center field. And Thames makes the catch. Mauer will trot home. Willingham has another run batted in. And it's 7-0.
And Willingham going to get high fives all around. Good RBI right there. His 94th of the year. His second of the ball game. Good to see everybody smiling in that dugout.
And now Morneau. A couple of strikeouts, bookending a pop fly RBI single. I want you to take a look. We talk about bat speed, or you'll hear, look where the ball is and how far back Mauer's bat was. Now that ball, as it comes into the frame, and Mauer's bat, although it's moving forward, isn't far from his resting spot on his shoulder.
Well, you saw the legs, how he utilizes his legs, and then how, you know, his torso just opened up so quickly.
Morneau squibs one foul, but you still photographs like that sometimes really tell the story of how talented these guys are. That was a 99-mile-per-hour fastball, and it had come across the grass, was in the dirt, about ready to cross the plate, and Mauer's bat is still way back.
So strong with their hands and how quick they are. I mean, he was determined to get the barrel of the bat out on one of those pitches, and he did.
Morneau's going to need another bat. He's
splintered
a few of them.
He's gone through some bats here tonight.
And we'll know that Morneau is fully back from his assortment of injuries when he can turn around a upper 90s fastball like he did against Joel Zumaya a few years ago. Oh my goodness.
caps. Olivo just slumps his shoulders. Like, how many bats is this guy going to break? And he's got 2 hits.
He said, hey, I've got a big supply in the clubhouse. But you know what? I mean, right here, this is the strength of Justin. The pitch, the fastball, middle in, and Justin with those strong hands. Yeah, the bat shatters in his hands, but strong enough to hit it over the infield for his second hit. Drew saying, I think I could use that.
Yeah.
You know, I coached Jimmy Reese. Remember old Jimmy Reese with the Angels?
Yeah,
he hit the fungos.
Babe Ruth,
his bats looked like that. You cut them in half, and he could hit fungo bats with, and he could hit all day like that. He could throw batting practice with his fungo bat.
Hey, a little super glue, that's good as new. Here's Domit. 98, strike 1. It's hit pretty well to center, and Figgins goes back for out number 2.
Well, Carter Katz, he has shown he's got a great arm. He's thrown 27 pitches at 95 miles an hour or better, 31 total pitches. It's not bad.
Chris Parmelee. 0 for 3, reached on an error, taking ball 1.
Well, 4th time this year that Parmelee has worn a Twins uniform. Started the season with the Twins, then sent down to Rochester in middle of May.
Parmelee with a line drive single to right. Morneau holds at second. So 2 on for Trevor Plouffe earlier tonight. Delivered a Coors Light cold hard blast.
And his first home run since July 3rd for Trevor Plouffe. And you got a fastball from Jason Vargas, hit it into the bullpen area. A big 2-run home run that opened up the game to 5-0 lead for the Twins.
Plouffe walked and scored in the 3rd, hit the 2-run home run in the 4th, and then lined out to the shortstop Kawasaki in the 5th. Sounded like 98. Robertson warming up in the Twins pen. The Twins starting pitching has had check swing and a foul. They had the complete game loss by Liam Hendricks. Diamond, even though he gave up 5 earned runs, still gave the Twins 7 innings. And now DeDuno looks like he'll be done after 7.
Yeah, Rick Anderson talking to him right there. Just saying, see, you can do it. It was easy, wasn't it? Give me 5.
Up around the hands. Well, as rough as it was for DeDuno in his last start against the Rangers, he walked 1 guy in 5 innings and now 7 more. That's 1 walk over 12 innings. That more than anything else might be the biggest sign of progress, that he is throwing the ball over the plate more and aggressively throwing strikes. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Oh, what impressed me the most is no walks, 9 strikeouts.
Yeah.
You know, here's a guy that came into the ball game, 37 walks in 51 innings, and you know, you got to realize again, this is a guy that's not young. He's 29 years old, but you know, it takes a while sometimes to get settled in, to feel like, you know, I'm part of the ball club. Yeah, he got roughed up in his last start in Texas, gave up 7 earned runs into 5 innings, he had 11 hits, most he's given up, but here tonight, he didn't let that bother me. He threw it out the back door. It's a new day and a great outing.
Lace to left center field, and that's going to run the gap. Morneau will score. Harmele behind him. He'll score. And Trevor Plouffe with a ringing double to score 2 more.
Well, even though you throw 97 miles an hour, and that's what they have that at, if it doesn't have any movement and it's straight, it allows a hitter like Trevor Plouffe or any hitter with a bat to hit this ball sharply. Look where that pitch was. Belt high down the middle of the plate, and Plouffe put a great swing on it to drive in 2 more runs, and the Twins take a 9-0 lead.
Caps leaves with the Twins in control of batters in the 7th.
On Matt Kemp, those Dodgers, they made that great trade, but you can't lose a young man like this. He left last night's ball game at Colorado with a bruised left knee and will miss a few days. So he's kind of day-to-day, and what they're trying to do is catch those Giants coming into play. They found themselves 3.5 games behind the Giants. Dodgers have lost 3 straight coming into tonight's ball game.
But between Kemp's collision with the wall and Yadier Molina's collision at home plate, if Yadier Molina didn't get a concussion from that collision last night, he'll never get a concussion. But here's Lucas Luetge coming out of the Seattle pen.
Yeah, Luetge coming in. He's a Rule 5 player coming out of the Brewers organization in his first season with the Mariners. Luetge, 25 years old.
One and one. Greg Holland's trying to save it for the Royals over the Tigers. They lead it 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
Kansas City beat up Justin Verlander a little bit.
Yeah. And Florimon gets a piece of it. I was interested to hear Rod Carew, who of course worked with Florimon and when he is in Fort Myers in spring training, said that he thinks he'll be a better hitter from the left side of the plate. Ron Gardenhire has noticed that he drives the ball, hits the ball with more authority from the right side, but Florimon himself says he feels more comfortable from the left side than the right side because he started switch hitting at the age of 10. And over that course of time, of course, you see more right-handed pitching. You get more at-bats as a left-handed batter than a righty.
It's tough enough hitting from one side. You can imagine trying to hit from both sides of the plate. Guys like Roy Smalley, Chili Davis.
See, that to me is, I just can't comprehend hitting with power from both sides of the plate. Chili could do it, but the Eddie Murrays, Chipper Jones, people like that, I can't imagine the athletic ability that's needed. Domit, we've seen power from both sides. And Florimon takes some close pitches along the way and ends up drawing a walk, his second of the ball game.
So Lipke comes in, walks his first batter.
Ben Revere struggling, 3 ground balls and a strikeout. Again, the Twins in 8 prior games with Seattle scored a total of 13 runs. They've got 9 so far tonight. With Span unable to play today, the hope is he'll be able to play maybe ideally a couple games in a row here soon. Maybe Ben Revere's at a stage where he could use a couple games off.
Yeah, again, I talked to Denard Span this afternoon, and he said, you know, it's just kind of day to day. He just has to, you know, take some BP, see how it feels. He was in the lineup, I believe, last night, was he not? And then he went into Ron Gardenhire's office and said it was bothering him, the collarbone area. And that's what you want, you know, from a player like Span. I mean, you'd like to be, you know, 90, 95%. You're not always going to be 100%, but if it's hurting a little bit, he did the right thing by telling Gardy, hey, you know, maybe I need a day off. It's bothering me a little bit. He had the MRI, and it just shows that there's a little bit of a you know,
inflammation
in there. Yeah.
2-1 to Revere. Softly back to the mound. Litke with the catch, and the Twins are done in the 7th. They add 3 more and lead 9-0.
You know, he got out here and saw all the graphics on the scoreboard and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm definitely happy.
You know, rewarding this organization and Twins country here, Twins territory. That's what it's all about. And you know what? Get an opportunity to see, you know, the best players come in here and have a lot of fun.
And it will be fun in 2014, middle of July. Twins in the Twin Cities, Minnesota, Twins territory, hosting the 2014 All-Star Game. 9-0 Twins. Thames, Olivo, and Figgins will bat in the 8th against Tyler Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson making his 28th relief appearance. He's worked 6 times on that road trip, a couple times against the Mariners, a couple times in Oakland, and also in Texas.
Darren Mastroianni in left field. Josh Willingham not only got his first hit against Jason Vargas, he got a second hit, a long home run into the upper deck. One and one. Thames, Olivo, and Figgins due up for Eric Wedge and the Mariners. Kansas City beat Detroit 1-0. White Sox won their ball game at Camden Yards, so now the White Sox have a 3-game lead over the Tigers. Dylan Axelrod was called up to make the start for the White Sox and did very well, beating the Orioles. And just another example of the White Sox hitting on all cylinders. Gavin Floyd goes out because of a bad elbow, and Jake Peavy has an eye infection, so he was unable to start. So they call up Axelrod, and the White Sox see their lead grow by a game. Swing and a miss. And it's 3-2.
What we've seen from Tyler Robertson is a good fastball. That out pitch, when he does get ahead, is that slider. Well, he doesn't want to walk anybody right here. I'm sure Domit's going to sit down the middle of the plate. Give me another good fastball.
Busted bat to center field, and Revere makes the catch. Out number one. Heading into the second full season as Vikings head coach Leslie Frazier sat down for an exclusive Q&A with Fox Sports North's Brian Hall. Read Frazier's thoughts about his quarterback, his best player, and the lessons he learned last season at foxsportsnorth.com. Here's Olivo, 0 for 2. Tyler Robertson is in a prominent role here. He's one of 2 left-handed relievers, but when the other guy is your closer, he's not going to be used. There's another fly to center, and an easier play for Revere as he comes in, makes the catch out number 2. When the other guy's a closer, anything before the 9th inning in a non-save situation, Robertson's got to get the job done.
Well, you think about this. Tyler Robertson, he got called up on June 25th, the end of June, and he's already been in 28 ball games, so he's been used a lot of times to maybe get 1 or 2 outs. Well, he's done a pretty good job. Don't look at the ERA a lot of times out of relievers, because one bad inning can shoot that ERA way up there for a reliever. Robertson's longest outing as a reliever came in Cleveland, where he worked 2 innings. Other than that, it's maybe 1 or 1/3, 2/3 of an inning.
Robertson has been very good against lefties and not so good against righties. And a ball to Figgins, 1-1.
Figgins himself has struggled from either side of the plate. Came into the ball game hitting only 189 as a right-handed hitter, 190. A left-handed hitter, 188 coming into the game. 0 for 2 so far in the ball game.
Revere hustling in, and it's the second baseman Carroll making the play. Robertson gets 35 all outs and a quick top of the 8th.
9-run lead. Stay with us immediately following the game for Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. DeDuno delivers tonight an absolute gem. 7 innings of 2-hit shutout ball. We'll take you inside the clubhouse and hear from the manager, Ron Gardner, his thoughts on DeDuno and the rest of his team, and also the fact that this ball club will be hosting the 2014 All-Star Game, and you won't want to miss our instructional as Bert Blyleven, the former Hall of Famer and All-Star, along with Ron Coomer, also an All-Star, will take you onto the mound and teach you about the balance point that pitchers have to have for accuracy and velocity. It's all coming up in Twins Live, guys, presented by CenturyLink.
Thank you, Kevin. Jamie Carroll with a swing and a miss, 1 strike.
Yeah, not too many times Kevin gets to do this late in a ball game and say Twins have a 9-run lead. That sounded very good. Good job, Kevin.
And Carroll spanks a single to left. Well, we're all looking forward to Saturday, September 8th. Tom Kelly will become the 7th Minnesota Twin to have his jersey number retired. The weekend series against Cleveland is presented by the South Dakota Department of Tourism. And there are good tickets left for the game on Saturday, the 8th of September. Be part of the celebration for TK by calling 833-TWINS or go to twinsbaseball.com.
Did you feel the wind blowing in right there when Carroll hit that ball in the short left field?
Sorry, you said he was going to hit a home run.
I said he was going to hit a home run, but did you feel that wind? That ball almost, if you just squared up just a little bit better.
Hurricane Isaac couldn't have helped him hit one out. 1 strike to Mauer. 2-run single and a triple. We would be remiss, I guess, if we did not at least bring up the fact that the world abuzz, at least part of it abuzz, with the fact that Mauer went through waivers. And what does it mean? What does it mean? Well, it doesn't mean a thing, because Mauer, like just about every other player in baseball, is sent through waivers this time of year. Kirby Puckett was regularly sent through waivers, and it didn't mean for a moment that the Twins were ever going to trade him. Similarly, it doesn't mean that the Twins are going to trade Joe.
Yeah, a lot of people up in arms. How could they put him on waivers? But again, everybody's put on waivers, like you just mentioned.
What's curious, and it's commonplace now for that information to get leaked to the media somehow. And I don't know how that happens. I asked Terry Ryan a week or so ago, 2 weeks ago, I suppose, about when in August, if you send a player through waivers, are you obligated to, or just as a courtesy to the player and his agent, do you let them know that you're doing that? He goes, no, you don't let the player know for any reason. Frankly, it's none of their business.
Right.
And so if it's not coming from the player or his agent,
where is it coming from?
Where is it coming from? I just. Mastroianni will hit in what was Willingham's spot. And Mauer down the line off the end of the bat, his 3rd hit. Average was down to 309. Maybe we'll see it start spiking upward again.
Well, I mean, another great at bat right there, just taking a pitch the other way. Kind of chuckles with Jerry White down there, but the inside out swing of Joe Mauer picks up his 3rd hit, fastball away, and just took it right down that 3rd baseline. So Joe Mauer fans, don't worry. He will hopefully wear a Twins uniform his whole career.
Mastroianni hitting in Willingham's spot. Pretty big shoes to fill tonight. Willingham with a single in the 2nd, a solo home run in the 5th, and a sacrifice fly in the 7th. Just off the corner, and it's 1-1.
Yeah, Mastroianni, he started in last night's ball game, played in right field, went 0 for 3 with a walk. That breaking ball. Bit away.
Up the middle, a base hit. Carroll around 3rd. He'll be held. And they're loaded up with 3 singles in the 8th against Litke.
Well, you come in for a defensive replacement, you get an at-bat, you make the most out of it. Exactly what Mastroeni did right there. Fastball right back up the middle. And the Twins load the bases with nobody out. So good to see everybody contributing here tonight.
Morneau has struck out twice. A pop fly single that drove in a run in the third. And then a splintered bat single. And a run scored in the seventh. One strike. Oakland beat Cleveland 8-4. The Twins still have hopes of passing the Indians and perhaps the Royals. To left field to the corner. Robinson with the catch. Carroll is tagging and scoring, and Morneau will get a sacrifice fly, and the Twins have a 10-run ball game.
So Justin picks up an RBI, his second of the ball game, his 63rd of the year, as Carroll scores for the second time.
Ryan Doumit will hit 1 for 4. From a player's perspective, there has to be some significance not finishing in last place. I don't want to finish in last place again this year. You know, finishing in third or fourth, that's a pretty thin nail to hang a hat on, but nobody enjoys finishing last, do they?
Well, I think the Twins already know it's been a disappointing season. It came into today's play, 25 games under 500, 19.5 behind the Chicago White Sox. But you know, you play the game one day at a time. You cannot bring back what happened already, but you have to look forward to the last month of the season, the next 33 games, 32 games. Do the best you can. You're fighting for a job for next year. So every outing, every at-bat, still very important. And remember, all these stats end up on the back of your bubblegum card. So they have to look good. You hope.
Doumit breaks his bat. And that'll die in front of Robinson. And reloaded. And the order to the bat companies might be faxed overnight.
Well, you know what? I think the first two ball games in this series, you know, it was great pitching by the Seattle Mariners. Here, the Twins have gotten some breaks. They've gotten some little blue pits here or there. But you know what? Sometimes you say, you know, it's our turn to get some of these little bleeders. Doumit picks up his second hit of the ball game.
Chris Parmelee coming up. Single and a run scored his last time up. Bases loaded. Again, the Twins, the only team in the American League without a grand slam. Popped up on the first pitch. Short left, Kawasaki. Infield fly rules called. Parmelee's out.
29,281 here tonight. Paid attendance.
Just looking this up here. The Tigers, I believe, also don't have a grand slam. At any rate.
Oh, you know what? Let's make it a career night.
If Plouffe hits one here, it'll be the Twins' first one. And he goes after the first pitch and flares it foul. If the Twins can play better baseball and get out of the basement in the division, it's not going to mask the problems. The trouble spots on this roster are going to be addressed in the offseason, whether they finish 5th, 4th, or 3rd.
Terry Ryan knows that. The general manager, Ron Gardenhire, knows that. The manager, his coaching staff, the organization, they know what, you know, with the draft coming, what they hope that, you know, will work out.
Two strikes to Trevor Plouffe. Wolf has already driven in 4 runs tonight. 2-run home run and a 2-run double. Pounded foul.
Early game tomorrow, 12-10 game.
Supposed to be a warm one, approaching 100 degrees tomorrow. Take it for a ball. 1-2.
Now we want to also send our thoughts and prayers with all those people down at the Gulf Coast that are fighting that hurricane. New Orleans, the surrounding areas.
That's hit to the right field corner. It's a long run for Thames. And he can't get there, and it's just barely a foul ball. Been a good night for Twins fans. There haven't been enough of those here this year. Assuming the Twins win this game, they'll be 25-39 at home. And Plouffe takes a fastball for strike 3. Twins get a run, leave 3. Stay tuned for the Gander Mountain weekend weather update for Twins territory. Trevor Plouffe has driven in 4. All in all, it's been a relaxed, wonderful offensive night for the Twins, but the highlight for me has been Samuel Deduno.
Yeah, Deduno, his best start definitely as a Minnesota Twin and at the major league level, just making his 10th major league start, 7 shutout innings, career high 9 strikeouts, no walks in the ballgame, only allowed 2 hits, both of them singles. See if the Twins can get the shutout here of the Royals. Excuse me, the Mariners. Mariners have 2 shutouts against the Twins this year, so hopefully the Twins can pay him back a little bit here tonight. It's up to Anthony Swarzak, hopefully to pitch a 1-2-3 9th inning.
And a fastball for strike 1.
Swarzak making his 35th appearance. He did make 4 starts for the Twins earlier this year.
Strike 2.
Remember, Anthony was on a disabled list for a while, activated on August 17th from right shoulder soreness. This is his 4th appearance since his return off the DL.
One and 2.
Twins down to 12 pitchers now with Jeff Gray getting outrighted to Rochester. Chris Parmelee getting called up.
You know, one thing that, as disappointing as this year has been, what it can provide for the Twins is some definition for pitchers like Swarzak. You know, the hope is the rotation will be healthy and stable enough where they can just leave Swarzak where they think he's best served and best suited, the bullpen. That's a bounced foul.
Yeah, they remember at the beginning of the year they put him in that starting rotation. Just didn't pan out after 3 starts. He had a very high ERA. He was 0-3 to start the year. They put him in the bullpen and sent some very, very good outings in the bullpen. Then they put him in the rotation again in late May. He had a bad outing against the Tigers, and he has not started since.
Foul back.
In those 4 starts, he had an ERA over 8. But as a reliever, an ERA right around 3.
Kawasaki, Ackley, and Robinson. And now 2-2.
Mentioned before, Kawasaki in Japan for 11 seasons was a .294 hitter before signing as a free agent with the Mariners. More of a singles type hitter.
3-2. So it might be safe to say, tempting to say, that Kawasaki's run into the same transition problems that Tsuyoshi Nishioka has. The difference, I think, is the Twins were counting more heavily on Nishioka to come over here and do what he did over there, more so than the Mariners did with Kawasaki.
Yeah, Kawasaki has 19 hits on the year, only 1 extra base hit, and that's a double. Came into the game hitting at .202. His average now down to 198.
Chop to the right side. Finally, Kawasaki's retired, 1 away. Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Samuel DeDuno with no walks and just a couple of hits.
Hey, looking for his 5th win, and DeDuno, a career high 9 strikeouts. First start that he has not walked a batter. So a great night for Samuel DeDuno.
Carroll gets another try. And out number 2.
Twins hold on to this shutout. It'll be their 5th shutout of an opponent this year. The only complete game shutout came off of the left arm of Scott Diamond, when he shut out the Cleveland Indians here back in July.
Low, ball 1.
Well, it'd be good to see Gardy. I know in his postgame last night, his head was down. He was kind of depressed a little bit about the offense. Just, you know, everybody's working hard. It just really hasn't worked out. The Twins' offense was really struggling, but here tonight, all of a sudden, 16 hits put on the board, 10 runs. Probably you get a smile out of Gardy tonight.
They've been few and far between, 1-1. Two and 1 to Robinson. Fouled away, 2-2. Swarzak's 1 strike away from
mopping up the 9th inning. You say 5 wins for DeDuno. He's 1 pitch away from that. You never know when the wins are going to, where they're going to come from. That's 1 more than Nick Blackburn has had this year. And Blackburn was figuring prominently in the Twins' plans, and I'm not sure anyone envisioned DeDuno being a part of the rotation throughout the second half.
Opportunity.
2-2 to Robinson. Up high, 3-2. Twins pitchers have not walked a batter.
Nope.
And Swarzak certainly doesn't want to prolong matters here tonight.
Well, remember DeDuno, his last batter he faced, he fell behind 3-0 on Smoke and came back and struck him out. Basically a fastball here.
Got it.
Swung through it.
A 10-0 whitewashing of the Seattle Mariners. 7 of those innings pitched by Samuel DeDuno, who did not walk a man. Plenty of offense tonight. Anthony LaPanta. Twins needed a night like this, and they got it.
Very different from what we saw last night and the night before when the Twins dropped the first 2 games of the series. A 10-0 win tonight. Minnesota has a chance to get a split. We'll preview that. Hear from Gardy next on Twins Live.